Are you more committed to your excuses or your goals? Listen, some people are more committed to their excuses than they are their goals. And here's how you know. They keep their excuses. They keep the story that they tell themselves instead of working on their goals. They don't change the story, and they believe that their past or whatever their circumstances are totally dictate their future, and it's not true. And I made a list here. Some of these are non-sales related, but I've got a few for you salespeople that join me here too. So let's start at the top. My favorite one of all, the circumstances of your birth. So you were born to a single mom, or you were raised by a single father, or maybe you were raised by your grandparents, or maybe you grew up in a bad neighborhood that was disadvantaged, and maybe you didn't have a lot of opportunity where you came from, and you didn't have a lot of role models. All of those things are not good, they're not nice, but they're not a limit on your success. And if you hold on to that story, you want the story more than you want your goals. And so you keep the excuse instead of saying, tens of millions of people have escaped the circumstances of their birth. History is full of stories of people who have escaped the circumstances of their birth or overcome issues and problems and challenges that you can't imagine. So you have to decide, I'm going to let go of the circumstances of my birth and deal with the circumstances I'm in right now, because that allows you to break free and work on your goals. My second favorite one, I don't have the right education. I didn't get to go to an Ivy League school. Almost nobody got to go to an Ivy League school, and they're still happy, and they're still successful, and they're still chasing their dreams, and they're still working for companies doing terrific work. They're entrepreneurs. They're doing all kinds of things to take care of their family. Your education has nothing to do with your success, and there are plenty of C student, high school graduate, multimillionaires who are entrepreneurs because they wanted their goals more than they wanted the story about going to school. And many of them will tell you it doesn't matter what school, and in some ways it can inhibit your success because you rely too much on what you believe to be an advantage when hustle is a much greater advantage. Third favorite one, I don't have resources. I don't have access to the money. I don't have access to the resources that other people have. Listen, if you want it bad enough, you can find the money. If you want to start a business, you can start and you can bootstrap and you can pull yourself up. A lot of people are born without resources. I ask this question a lot, but how many people, what percent of the United States population makes up the top 1%? 1%. There's 1% of the wealthiest, the rest are 99%, but the people in the top 5% are doing just fine, and the people in the top 10% are doing just fine. And if you want to look at it globally, if you're in the United States, you're in the top 1% of the world population and you have more opportunity. So the resources are available. What's necessary is the resourcefulness to say, even without these resources, I can find a way and I can attract those resources through sheer determination and will and hustle and going after it. And dozens and dozens and dozens of people you know are succeeding just this way right now. Another one of my all-time favorites, I've listened to all of these over the past couple weeks, so I wrote them down. One of my all-time favorites is, I made really bad decisions as a young person. I got married too young and I ended up getting divorced. Or I had a drug problem when I was a kid. Or I got in trouble when I was a young man and I had some problems, some legal problems. All of these bad decisions, a lot of people make bad decisions. A lot of grown-up people who weren't children and weren't young people make bad decisions. But the decisions that you make are already in your past. And so if you want your goals more than you want that story, then you'll have your goals. But if you want the story more than you want your goals, you'll have the story. And so you have to decide whether you're going to be committed to your goals or committed to your excuses. Now, just for salespeople, my product's not good enough and other people have better products. Sorry, there are people on your team right now who are doing well selling the same product you are. My competitors are irrational. All they do is sell price. That's you. Everybody has that problem. Everybody has what looks like an irrational competitor who has a low price, and that's their strategy, and they're hard to beat because they sell to the people who want good enough, and there's a lot of people that want good enough. It's a fact. Some people make irrational buying decisions. My pricing's too high. People have lower pricing. Your pricing's designed on what it takes for you to execute, and the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10 people at the top of your stack ranking all have the same pricing model that you do. They figured it out. Our customers don't understand the value proposition. All of these are excuses to say, I don't have to change what I'm doing. I don't have to find a new strategy. I don't have to find new tactics. And so you get a choice. You get your excuses or you get your goals, but you've got to pick one, and you can't have both. And once you give up your excuses, you'll have your goals. And once you keep your excuses, you won't have your goals because you will have given up. I'm Anthony Iannarino. This show is Every Day. Do hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. No excuses.